What would you feel if you stumbled upon a secret that turned your world upside down, unraveling everything you thought you knew about your family's past? In the stillness of the night, I found myself drawn to the soft glow spilling from behind the closed door, my heart pounding in my chest, a mix of fear and longing swirling within me. The house was silent, yet the tension in the air was palpable, as if the walls themselves were holding their breath, waiting for what might unfold. My husband slept soundly down the hall, unaware of the storm brewing that would soon unravel everything we knew. I should have just gone back, but something held me there, a pull I couldn't resist. I walked away, pretending not to notice, but my heart ached with the need to turn back. That one choice, that brief moment of weakness, tore apart everything we had. The night was electric, filled with unspoken desires and a hint of danger. With a whisper of sound, a delicate rustle ignited a spark within me, urging me to rise quietly and seek a glass of water. My bare feet whispered against the polished wooden floors, a secret dance in the quiet of the night. The house was wrapped in silence, a quiet sanctuary at midnight, where hidden desires lingered just out of reach. Yet, in the quiet, I felt a soft pulse drifting from Lawrence's room. My 25-year-old stepson is living with us, his presence stirring emotions as he strives to save for his own place. I thought he was a good kid, and I kept telling myself that my heart was in the right place. Maybe he was hurting, longing for someone to reach out. As I hesitantly peered through the slightly open door, my heart raced, frozen by the unexpected scene that unfolded before my eyes. The blue glow from his laptop illuminated his face, revealing an expression of longing and uncertainty. He was lost in the moment, his fingers gliding over the keys as if they were whispering secrets meant only for her ears. And then the video arrived, the very thing that shattered my heart. This was a moment that felt electric, charged with unspoken desires. It was a secret I thought would remain mine forever. In a moment, a secret that was meant to be hidden had slipped into the light. My heart dropped. The glass of water I held quivered in my grasp. How long had he been watching her from the shadows? In that moment I understood the depth of our stolen moments, and a wave of unease washed over me. What could be more unsettling than this breach of our secret world? Text, I should have known, I cried out. I should have stirred him from his dreams. I should have stormed in, demanding to uncover the truth of what was unfolding. Yet I couldn't bring myself to do it. Instead I stood frozen, enveloped in a whirlwind of fear and an irresistible pull towards the unknown. In that brief moment I saw something extraordinary in Lawrence's gaze. A yearning that went beyond mere fascination, a deep desire that was solely for me. The secret change unfolding between us. The days dragged on, each one more agonizing than the last. I kept my distance from Lawrence, my heart aching with every step away. Words hung in the air, unspoken and heavy, as I stole glances at him. Each blink felt like an eternity, a reminder of the distance between us. The image of that flickering screen haunted me, a bittersweet reminder of what could never be. Lawrence's piercing gaze lingered in my thoughts, a haunting reminder of what could never be. I told myself I should be disgusted, yet my mind lingered on it, unable to let go. What was that electrifying sensation that coursed through me as he brushed past in the hallway? Why did my heart race when he flashed that smile my way over breakfast, as if the world around us had paused, ignoring the secrets we shared? And why, oh why, did a part of me feel flattered, drawn in by the dangerous allure that could tear everything apart? I knew it was wrong. I knew it would shatter everything I held dear. I sensed that Lawrence was caught in a delicate web, his feelings tangled in something deeper than simple curiosity. Yet the most heartbreaking truth was my undeniable yearning to be a part of it all. This life felt achingly familiar. Before that fateful evening, I saw myself as a loyal partner, steady and unwavering in my devotion. My name is Anna, and for 7 years I've shared my life with Arthur. At 38 and newly free from a marriage, I feel a flutter of hesitation as I stand on the edge of love once more. Arthur feels like a secret I'm not supposed to have, a spark in a world that demands restraint. He is everything I shouldn't want, steady, caring, and always there to catch me when I fall. Yet that very reliability pulls me closer, igniting a longing I can't ignore. He has a son from his first marriage, Lawrence, who was 21 when I stepped into their world. In those days, Lawrence was just a quiet boy, holding secrets in his heart. He found solace in the glow of the screen, where the characters felt more real than the people around him. I showed him tenderness, yet we kept our distance. He whispered my name, Anna, and it felt like a secret only we shared. Not like her. And I was utterly fine with that. I never meant to cross that line. For years everything felt mundane. A predictable rhythm that left little room for the unexpected. When Lawrence finished college and moved away, I thought that was it for us, the end of our fleeting moments together until he came back. What a breathtaking change. 6 months had passed since Lawrence returned to town, a bittersweet homecoming at just 25, after losing everything in the city. Arthur's heart raced with joy. Yet a shadow of longing lingered in the air. He's holding on to every penny, but it feels like he's saving for something more than just a future. I thought that clever kid was just a fleeting moment in time. Yet Lawrence had changed, his essence now cloaked in mystery. He loomed larger, radiating an undeniable strength, his quiet confidence wrapping around us like a secret we weren't meant to share. He started spending time in our home gym, and I found myself stealing glances at him through the door, my heart racing with each fleeting moment. Beads of sweat shimmered on his shoulders, a silent testament to the tension that hung between them. I tried to turn away, frustrated that I was even noticing, yet those little moments kept pulling me back in. He would stay just a moment longer in our talks, and I could see the hint of a smile playing on his lips whenever I chided him about the dishes left in the sink. He walked in just as I was changing, and his apology felt like a whisper lost in the air. Too late to mend the fragile silence between us. I believed it was just his arrogance, annoying but ultimately innocent. Then the videos were released and everything changed forever. For an entire week, I avoided every chance to be alone with Lawrence. I made sure Arthur was always there, even when it felt like we were dancing on the edge of something we shouldn't. I thought about revealing the truth to him, but which words could capture the weight of it all? It felt like a jolt to discover that our secret moments had been captured, and were now in the hands of my son. The embarrassment washed over me, mingling with an unsettling thrill. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Arthur slipped away for a business trip, leaving a lingering ache in the air. "Text you to be good," he teased at the door, pressing a quick kiss to my cheek, before his car disappeared down the street. The house felt like a secret, wrapped in a heavy silence that whispered of unspoken desires. After that moment I found myself in the kitchen, rearranging things that didn't need fixing, lost in thoughts I dared not voice. Suddenly, I felt Lawrence's voice wrap around me from behind, stirring something deep within that I knew I shouldn't entertain. With a heart racing and a breath caught, I let my fingers dance along the cool edge of the sink, lost in a moment that felt both sweet and wrong. He lingered in the doorway, arms crossed, his gaze piercing through me, a mix of longing and uncertainty swirling in the air between us. "We need to talk," he said, crossing a line that sent shivers down my spine. "I never expected you to take me seriously." Your heart was restrained. Yet Lawrence held himself together, a calm facade masking the storm within. "Text, I know you saw," he whispered, his breath warm against her skin as he stepped closer, the air thick with unspoken tension. My heart raced with a thrill I knew I shouldn't feel. "What did you see?" His grin was sly, a whisper of mischief that sent shivers down her spine. "Let's escape." I knew I should have walked away. He was known only as Arthur, a name that lingered in the air like a whispered secret. Yet I couldn't bring myself to do it. "How long do you think this will take?" I breathed softly. That lingering look held so much unspoken desire. Our gazes locked, a spark igniting in the silence between us. "And oh, you look even more enchanting up close." His words ignited a flutter of warmth and a blush that crept up my cheeks. "This feels so exhilarating." I lost myself completely. "Is this really happening?" He edged in just a breath away. "That evening your gaze lingered on me, dissecting every nuance, every fleeting glance." My cheeks burned with a rush of heat. He knew me too well. The thrilling game had begun, and with it, Lawrence's daring moves took everything to another level. He would casually walk by me in the hallway, and his touch would leave a haunting warmth that stayed with me. It was a moment that hung in the air, charged with unspoken desires. He would leave his bedroom door just a crack open. The soft glow from his laptop cast a tender light around us, wrapping the moment in an intimate embrace. In that brief instant, I caught him watching me from across the dinner table, his foot brushing against mine, hidden beneath the surface. I found it impossible to pull away, and what troubled me most was how I started to play along with his teasing, slipping into softer PJs and unwittingly leaving my robe undone, inviting his gaze even more. I found myself watching him, heart racing, caught in a moment that felt both thrilling and wrong. The dance unfolded in silence, a secret shared only between them. We pushed each other onward, hearts racing for the next daring leap. I told myself I was in control. Yet that evening Lawrence seemed to dance just out of reach, always 2 steps ahead, igniting a longing that felt both thrilling and wrong. In an instant the storm broke loose. The lights flickered out, enveloping the house in an intimate, suffocating darkness. Arthur had slipped away, leaving only a haunting emptiness behind. Before I even laid eyes on him, the sound of Lawrence's voice wrapped around me like a secret, stirring something deep within my heart. It lingered just behind me, in the heavy shadows, thick with unspoken desire. His breath hung in the air, electric and forbidden. His warm breath brushed against my neck, and then everything faded into shadow. The storm outside raged, its howls echoing like a desperate plea, as if something forbidden yearned to break through the barriers that kept them apart. It felt like an eternity since the room was swallowed by darkness. Only the sporadic flicker of lightning illuminated the space, casting unsettling shadows that swirled like whispered secrets in the night. Lawrence hovered just behind me in the dim kitchen, his presence electric and dangerously close, sending shivers racing down my spine. His warmth wrapped around me, a forbidden solace in the midst of turmoil. The warmth pressed against me, igniting a flutter of anxiety deep within. He whispered again, his words almost lost in the storm that raged around them. I took a shaky breath, my fingers tightening around the counter as if it were my only anchor. Never. It's just a tempest of feelings. His soft laugh ignited a thrill that coursed through me, leaving me breathless and wanting more. What a delightful troublemaker. He moved nearer, and despite every fiber of my being urging me to flee, I remained frozen in place. Not from understanding, but from a whirlwind of emotions. The tension of our unvoiced feelings stirred something profound within me, and in that fleeting instant, I found myself doubting all that I believed to be true, as if the world around us had shifted in a way that felt both thrilling and wrong. This is exactly what I longed for. My breath caught in my throat as his words hung in the air, both unsettling and deliberate. Lawrence, my heart races at the mere thought of you. A secret longing that feels both thrilling and wrong. I had warned him, but the heart wants what it wants, even in the shadows. My voice quivered, betraying the strength I tried to muster. He stepped into a realm I never knew existed, a place where words failed to capture the intensity of what we shared. I pleaded for him to stop, but his silence shattered my hopes. In that brief instant, a bolt of lightning lit up the night, exposing his face, his deep eyes locked onto mine. Overwhelmed by a longing that pulsed through my very core, I hesitated, my lips parting just slightly. Silence wrapped around us like a secret, heavy and electric. It was a point of no return, where hearts raced and the air crackled with unspoken desires. His arms wrapped around me, pulling me in, and I could sense the soft beat of his heart against mine. It was just a shoulder, yet it felt like a world of unspoken promises and stolen glances. Quick and relentless. "Please," he whispered, his voice barely breaking the silence. "You urge me to continue, yet my body betrays my resolve, surrendering to his caress." A heavy silence envelopes us, both frozen in place. This isn't how I envisioned it. I never imagined I would become someone like this. In that fleeting instant I ceased to be Anna, the dutiful wife and stepmom. I was just a woman, lingering in the shadows, trying to ignore the fire that danced beneath my skin. In that fleeting moment Lawrence was still just a boy, untouched by the ties that would soon bind us. He was just a man, yet he had yearned for me through the shadows of time. Finally I gave in to the pull between us. It felt like I was wrapped in the bittersweet warmth of autumn's embrace. In those fleeting moments, everything blurred into a whirlwind of our tangled bodies and quickened breaths. He moved nearer, breaching an unspoken boundary as he lifted me onto it. The moment our eyes locked, an electric tension filled the air, leaving me breathless. A sip of whiskey, a glance that lingers, an intoxicating pull that feels both thrilling and wrong. I should have felt the weight of guilt pressing down on me. I should have felt the weight of shame pressing down on me. Yet all I felt was the intoxicating thrill of being alive. A secret joy that danced just beyond reach. For the first time in ages, my mind was unshackled from the weight of grocery lists, mortgage bills, or the gnawing worry of Arthur's tardiness. Once again, it felt like the start of something forbidden and beautiful. I found myself swept away in a whirlwind of feelings. It was a haunting moment, filled with an intoxicating thrill, and utterly out of place. Still I pressed on, heart racing with the thrill of what was to come. In the aftermath, silence wrapped around us like a secret we dared not speak. Lawrence broke the silence, his voice trembling with unspoken feelings. His breath came in heavy, trembling gasps. He turned away, the distance between us heavy with unspoken words. I leaned against the counter, my heart racing, my breath shaky, and my clothes a tangled mess. The lights flickered on, harsh and unforgiving, illuminating the unspoken tension between them. My eyes lingered on him, a spark of something unspoken igniting between us. In that moment she looked at him, her heart racing, as if the world around them had faded away. His gaze held a mystery, teasing the edges of understanding. He turned away abruptly, his silence echoing in the space between us, and stepped out of the kitchen, leaving my heart racing in the stillness. My lips tingled with a forbidden thrill. My heart raced uncontrollably, and my thoughts spiraled around one forbidden desire. What have I done to us? Reality started to creep in, heavy and undeniable. Arthur came home the next day, blissfully ignorant of the storm brewing in his heart. His lips brushed against my cheek, a whisper of longing escaping his mouth. I missed you. I forced a smile, hiding the storm within. I can't shake the feeling that Lawrence is pretending everything is fine, as if our moment never happened. He teased his dad while helping with the groceries, and in front of Anoni he asked if I wanted some coffee, a simple question that felt charged with something unspoken. It was as if he hadn't just stepped into my life the day before, as if he hadn't turned my world upside down in an instant. I tried so hard to stay away from him, convincing myself it was just a mistake, a fleeting moment that should never have happened. It was a fleeting mistake charged with unspoken longing. 3 nights later, a soft knock on my bedroom door pulled me from my dreams. Arthur lay next to me, his soft snores filling the air, a reminder of the closeness we shared, even in the stillness of the night. The knock echoed again, a heartbeat in the silence. The moment I heard it, my heart raced. That voice was unmistakable, and somehow I found the strength to leave the warmth of my sheets. Who comes to life when the clock strikes 12? The soft tapping felt like a whisper from a hidden world, blurring the lines between reality and a dream I dared not fully embrace. And then it came. A soft, trembling knock 3 times, like a secret whispered in the dark. Arthur lay beside me, lost in a peaceful slumber, his breaths a gentle rhythm that tugged at my heart. The clock on the nightstand cast a soft light, whispering that it was 2:18 a.m. In vivid crimson digits I felt a pang of regret, wishing I had stayed hidden beneath the warm covers, away from the world that beckoned with its dangerous allure. Opening that door was a mistake I can't take back. But then I caught sight of Lawrence, his low-slung sweatpants clinging to him, his bare chest glowing softly in the hallway light, and in that moment all my worries melted away. "We need to talk," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. I whispered, my fingers gripping the doorknob tightly. "Not here, not now," he whispered, stealing a glance at Arthur, lost in slumber, before his gaze returned to mine, charged with unspoken longing. His smile held a secret, a knowing that danced just beyond reach. "So where do we go from here?" The secret promise. We huddled in the dimly lit basement, hearts racing with unspoken desires. Just 10 minutes later, I found myself wrapped in a robe I had thrown on in a rush, feeling its thin fabric offered no real comfort. Lawrence leaned casually against the washing machine, exuding that maddening confidence that made my heart race and my thoughts spiral. "This can't be happening. It can't happen again," I whispered, my voice barely a breath, meant only for those who dared to listen, even with the 2 floors between me and Arthur. Lawrence tilted his head, a silent question lingering in the air between them. "What's keeping us apart?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "Feels so beautifully wrong." Yet there was an undeniable feeling that, in its own way, it was beautifully meant to be. He pulled away from the machine, Then in an instant he was right in front of me, closing the distance with a mix of urgency and longing. Confess it. It lingers in your mind, a sweet ache you can't shake off. My heart raced, a shiver coursing through me as his finger brushed softly against my arm. I'm married to your dad, I whispered, my voice barely breaking the silence. And yet there I stood, his arm encircling my waist, pulling me irresistibly closer. At around 2:30 a.m., everything changed in an instant. The next month slipped away, a whirlwind of stolen moments and an ever-present ache in the heart. The air crackled with unspoken tension as Lawrence's hand brushed against my thigh under the table, igniting a spark I couldn't ignore. A moment thick with unspoken desire, hanging in the air like a secret yearning to be revealed. Then Arthur appeared, earlier than I had dared to hope. I broke the delicate silence, and suddenly we were trapped in a tension-filled moment in the garage. With each fleeting moment together, my desire grew stronger, but I couldn't shake the shame that accompanied it. Then, on that unforgettable morning, it hit me like a bolt of lightning. 2 weeks late, my heart raced with a mix of fear and longing, caught in the whirlwind of what it meant to become a mother. I stared into the bathroom mirror, my pale face reflecting a mix of shock and longing in my wide eyes. The pregnancy test from the drugstore rested on the counter, its plastic wrapper whispering secrets as I clutched it with trembling hands. It felt like a dream, a whisper of something that should never be. We had always tread carefully. The sudden knock at the door sent a shiver down my spine. Anna. Arthur picked up the phone, her heart racing with the thrill of what might unfold. Are you okay in there? Yeah, I'm fine. A soft gasp escaped my lips as I slipped the test into my robe pocket, a wave of anxiety twisting in my stomach. The moment he left for work, I couldn't resist the urge to take the test. Those 3 minutes felt like an eternity, each second a weight on my heart. When that second pink line appeared, my heart raced, and I felt a rush of emotions that took my breath away. The final choice. That afternoon, I was lost in a whirlwind of emotions, caught between what I desired and what I knew I shouldn't. I stood before Lawrence in the empty house, the air thick with unspoken words and a tension that felt both thrilling and wrong. There's something we need to talk about, I whispered, placing the positive test gently in his hands. His eyebrows lifted in disbelief, a spark of something unspoken flickering between them. Then, to my surprise, his lips curled into a smile. This feels so right yet so wrong. I was left breathless, and then Lawrence's eyes sparkled with an intensity that stole my heart. At last we can step into the light. I recoiled as if his touch had burned me. Do you really think I could leave my husband for you? His expression darkened, a weight settling between them. You've already done it. Every time my fingers graze your skin, a rush of emotions overwhelms me. You have just 3 days to tell him. Lawrence's voice was calm, but his heart raced as he slipped the test into his pocket, a secret that felt both thrilling and dangerous. Or I must. It's a heart-wrenching dilemma. That evening I watched Arthur relish his meal, blissfully ignorant of the truth that was about to unravel everything he believed. If I reveal this to him, I know he would walk away, leaving me in the shadows of what could have been. The child would find the love they deserve. Without him, our world would crumble into despair. If I didn't take a chance, Lawrence would expose our hidden bond, Arthur would inevitably find out, and the fallout would be devastating. I had to come up with a plan in a heartbeat. In the stillness of the night when the world is asleep, a secret longing stirs. I made a choice, one that stirs my heart in whispers of what could never be. I grabbed a suitcase, wrote a note, left my wedding ring behind on the kitchen counter, and stepped into the unknown. The gravel whispered secrets beneath my tires as I raced down the lonely highway, heart pounding with the thrill of the unknown. The streetlights flickered like fleeting moments, casting shadows that whispered secrets across my windshield. My hands shook as I gripped the steering wheel, a rush of emotion swirling within me. The back seat was a chaotic mess of my jumbled suitcase, and I felt lost, drifting without a destination in sight. I had to escape Lawrence, leave Arthur behind, and run from everything that bound me. My heart lay in pieces. The persistent buzz of my phone echoed in the silence, but I turned away, heart racing at the thought of what it might mean. Then Arthur's name lit up the screen, and my heart raced with a mix of excitement and dread. He must have uncovered the secret. I let it ring, my heart racing with the thrill of the unspoken. I pulled into the roadside motel, the first light of dawn spilling across the horizon, casting a soft glow on everything it touched. A space where whispers travel through the air, and the scent of forgotten moments clings to the corners. As the door clicked shut behind me, I collapsed onto the rough comforter, tears spilling down my cheeks. Each sob cut through me, a painful reminder of what we could never have. I let fear guide my actions, hiding the truth from those I cared about. And now I carry a secret, a life growing within me that may not belong to the man I vowed to love. Once more my phone buzzed, stirring a flutter of anticipation within me. A haunting whisper. This time it's just a message, a whisper of what could be. A fleeting moment that feels both thrilling and wrong. Arthur and Anna, I need to hear your voice. Call me. Whatever this is between us, we can find a way through it. A wave of guilt washed over me. He thought it was about us. He had no idea that the betrayal was woven into the very fabric of their connection, hidden in the shadows of their stolen moments. I turned off my phone, feeling the weight of silence settle around me. A sudden urgent knock echoed through the dimly lit motel room, sending a rush of adrenaline through her veins. I must have slipped into a dream for just a heartbeat. The urgent, insistent knocking on the door jolted me awake, my heart racing with a mix of fear and anticipation. Anna, show me your heart. When Lawrence's voice brushed against my ears, my heart raced with a thrill I knew I shouldn't feel. How could he possibly know where I am? My heart raced, each beat echoing the thrill of what we dared not acknowledge. I could feel him close, a spark igniting in the air between us. I crept toward the door, my heart racing as I peered through the warped glass. Lawrence stood there, breathless and trembling, with Arthur's presence casting a shadow that felt both thrilling and dangerous. My heart ached. I threw the door open, heart racing, desperate to keep them from waking the whole motel. He burst through the door, a whirlwind of urgency and unspoken desire. His face flushed with a mix of anger and something deeper, a feeling he dared not acknowledge. What thoughts raced through your mind as you turned your back? Arthur followed, confusion etched on his features, as a wave of fear washed over him, tightening his chest. Anna, Lawrence spoke of you. His voice quivered as he spoke. The room spun in a dizzying blur, my heart racing with unspoken desires. It was Lawrence who whispered the truth to him, a secret that felt both thrilling and dangerous. I opened my mouth, but the quiet wrapped around me like a secret. What can I possibly share from the depths of my heart? Lawrence faced his dad, his voice trembling with a quiet intensity that filled the air with an unspoken tension. She stands there, heart racing, waiting for her father, the air thick with unspoken words and longing. This is mine. Arthur swayed, his heart racing as he fought to stay upright, the world around him blurring with the thrill of the moment. His gaze shattered my heart. How long he breathed, his voice laced with longing. Lawrence, my heart races at the mere thought of you. It's been too long. Arthur let out a sound that sent shivers down my spine, something utterly unfamiliar yet hauntingly captivating. A mix of a whimper and a fierce whisper. He spun on his heel, a storm brewing in his eyes, and walked away, leaving a silence that echoed with unspoken words. Slamming the door, a bittersweet punctuation to a moment that felt like the end of everything. After that, only silence lingered between them, heavy and charged with unspoken words. Then Lawrence's laughter broke free, a sound both joyous and tinged with something unspoken. The sound pierced the silence, a haunting echo that lingered in the air. It's remarkable how beautifully it turned out. Our eyes locked, and in that fleeting instant, I felt the weight of something unspoken between us. That grin on his lips, so self-assured, sent a shiver down my spine. The sly sparkle in his eyes. It was a whisper of something deeper, a spark that dared not ignite. It was a contest, and my heart ached with the sting of defeat. Everything aligned in a way that felt almost too good to be true. This is what you longed for. A heavy sigh escaped my lips. Lawrence let it go, a flicker of something unspoken in his eyes. Craved you. What was left felt like a haunting echo of what could have been. In a heartbeat, everything fell into place, igniting a spark that felt both thrilling and dangerous. The clips. The temptation of that pregnancy test. He held on with a desperate grip. He gazed into my eyes, a spark of something dangerous lingering between us, unrepentant. We can't keep pretending, he said, his voice trembling with the weight of unspoken truths, as if he knew the shadows that had been haunting me all along. It wasn't his decision to take, yet I had surrendered my heart, granting him the control I never intended to give. He whispered softly, his voice laced with an unspoken longing. Never, Anna. You knew the path was fraught with danger. And heartbreakingly, he was right. I held my purse tightly, my heart racing with unspoken desires. Lawrence's fingers wrapped around my wrist, a firm hold that sent a shiver through me. Where do you think this path will take you? Distance can sometimes lead to unexpected growth. His smirk faded away, leaving a lingering tension in the air. Freedom might slip through your fingers. Our eyes locked, a spark igniting between us, electric and undeniable. Watch me closely. As I stepped outside, leaving the inn behind, my heart raced with the thrill of what lay ahead. With a heavy heart, Lawrence slipped away, leaving behind a trail of unspoken truths and lingering glances. The first morning alone, a bittersweet ache lingering in the air. As dawn crept over the small diner at the town's edge, the flickering fluorescent lights cast a shadow of tension, hinting at secrets best left unspoken. I settled into the faded booth, holding a cold coffee cup that felt like a memory slipping through my fingers. The girl behind the counter, a tired woman named Rachel, filled my cup 3 times, her eyes avoiding mine, as if acknowledging my presence was a secret we both dared not share. Finally, she asked, her voice barely above a whisper, "Are you okay, my love?" As she lingered there, the soft fabric of her apron brushed against my skin, igniting a spark of something unspoken between us. I attempted to craft a lie, but the weight of my emotions broke free, and I was swept away by a flood of tears. My heart raced as I looked at our fingers intertwined, a secret connection that felt both thrilling and wrong. Her hands told stories of strength and struggle, each line a testament to the life she had lived, while mine held a faint reminder of the wedding ring that had once graced it. I whispered my fears of being lost, stirring a deep longing within me to discover who I truly am. Rachel's grip on my hand tightened, a mix of urgency and longing in her touch. Today was the start of a beautiful chaos, where everything began to fall apart in the most heart-wrenching way. The experience felt like a heart-wrenching journey through a tangled web of rules and restrictions. 2 weeks later, the divorce papers for Arthur slipped through the door, a bittersweet reminder of what once was. The silence lingered, heavy with unspoken words. A conversation feels too risky. A plain manila envelope lay quietly by the entrance of my new apartment, holding secrets that felt both thrilling and dangerous. It's just a tiny studio above a laundromat, always filled with the lingering scent of detergent and a hint of longing. I thought the papers would overflow with fury, longing, and unspoken bitterness. Yet, in that stillness, unspoken feelings lingered, heavy and electric. Arthur let it all slip away: the house, the cars, the money. None of it mattered anymore. He just walked away, leaving a hollow ache in her chest. The ache was deeper than any wound I've ever felt in battle. A lingering shadow. Lawrence stepped back into my world just as my body was preparing for a new life. 7 months into my pregnancy, I found myself a job at this enchanting little bookstore. The growing curve of my belly made reaching for the upper shelves a delicate dance. Yet somehow, it wrapped me in a soothing embrace of calmness. The infant stirred, stirring up echoes of my past mistakes, a bittersweet reminder of what could have been. On a drizzly Tuesday, the soft chime of the doorbell broke the silence, and there he was, droplets of rain glistening as they fell from him onto the welcome mat. "You look beautiful, pregnant," he said, his voice a whisper that hung in the air, as if the world around them had faded away. My hands instinctively found their way to my stomach. I need to escape this place, to break free from the chains that bind me here. Lawrence moved past me, lost in his own world, leaving behind a trail of damp footprints that felt like a whisper of something unspoken between us. The baby lingered in my mind, a constant ache I couldn't shake off. "There's no innocence left when it comes to you," I whispered, my heart racing as I tried to shield our secret from my boss's gaze. He leaned in, his breath a soft caress against my ear, igniting a spark that felt both thrilling and wrong. I longed to take the steps necessary to uncover the truth hidden in our bloodlines. It's a bittersweet story from the hospital. The journey began under the veil of night, when the air was thick with unspoken desires. Loneliness wrapped around my heart. Classes with Lamar are over, and my heart aches at the thought. I left without a bag, and my heart ached for the one who should have been by my side. I found myself counting the moments, each one a bittersweet reminder of what was unfolding within me. As I struggled to breathe, pain coursing through me, the taxi hurtled down the road, my mind racing with the secret that the driver was blissfully unaware of, the warm fluid pooling in the back seat, a silent witness to my turmoil. In that moment, a wave of pain washed over me, yet a shimmering melody whispered, urging me to hold on. And then she appeared, my heart's secret, Margaret. Lawrence's eyes met mine the moment he stepped into the hospital, a lawyer by his side, and my heart raced with a mix of hope and dread. I fought for shared moments, or I would seek to claim every precious second in the courtroom. The nurse hesitated at the threshold, her gaze softening as she held my sleeping baby close, a moment suspended in time, filled with unspoken emotions. I turned my eyes from my daughter's innocent smile to the smug look on Lawrence's face, and in that moment, a daring escape began to take shape in my mind. 3 days later, I disappeared without a trace. A whispered promise, a chance to start anew. No new place to call home. The bookstore owner, a gentle soul who had always been my only friend, reached out to her, a sister in Oregon, with a quiet plea for help. Her voice was barely a whisper as she pressed the crumpled bills into my palm, a fleeting touch that sent shivers down my spine. She'll make sure you're safe even if it feels wrong. As the bus pulled away, I clutched my daughter tightly, whispering sweet secrets into her soft hair, feeling the weight of what we were leaving behind. Truth hangs heavy in the air, a whisper of what could be, yet feels so far away. There's no way to run from this feeling anymore. Only we remain caught in this moment together. A letter stripped of warmth. My dearest Arthur, I can't help but feel the weight of my words. I'm so sorry. She has your smile, a bittersweet reminder of what once was. Because of my choices, her father will always remain a distant shadow in her life. Some mistakes linger in the shadows, too deep to be absolved. Still, I find myself trying. It's over just like that. A bittersweet ending, leaving a lingering ache in the heart. What would you have chosen if you were in Anna's shoes? Would you have faced the moment or slipped away into the shadows? Your thoughts mean the world to us. Please share them in the comments. And if this tale took you by surprise, prepare your heart for next week's story of a wife who uncovers a hidden truth about her husband, one that could change everything.